you see the destination, and God has that in store for you. But if God were to show you all the things that you were going to go through to get there, you'll probably turn around and be like, fuck all that, you know? And so it's kind of like I'm going through all that frustrations, you know, while still trying to live life, while still trying to be a good man to everybody in my life, trying to be a better friend, a better family member. Like, you know, I've been slacking off on like building my relationships, keeping those relationships, like hitting up my friends, hitting up my family. Like, I like been doing terrible at that. That's something I could always improve on. And maybe I'm taking myself too serious, you know, and I just need to just like let go and just like, you know, just day by day and like don't judge myself too much. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I feel like I'm desperate. Like time could be running out. Like, you don't know. Like, I could die tomorrow, you know? And so, and like, my biggest fear is like dying before I get where I'm going. And so I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to do everything I can now, you know? But even then, it still doesn't feel like enough.
Welcome back to Self Revelations. It's your boy B-Dab.
And I am JC. There you go. Changing it up now. I used to say Juan Moreno, but I don't know. I feel like I don't want to dox myself because, you know, people are weird, and then I don't want to keep giving my full name out, and somebody reaches my job and be like, "Hey, we're looking for Juan Moreno." Like, you know, JC is what it is, even though I just said my name like 5 times already.
It's on your YouTube. I mean, your Instagram.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that off.
That's crazy. Yeah, you might as well.
People
JC.
are crazy. People are weird.
JC, where does the JC come from? It's
remember
Juan Moreno. So where does
the middle name, the most Mexican name, Carlos. It's like Juan Carlos Moreno. That's why it's JC Juan Carlos. I don't like what's going on here.
Oh, you being dead ass serious?
You done? Yes.
It's Carlos?
Yeah, Carlos.
Juan Carlos.
Bro, it's the most Mexican name ever. If I could change my name and it was easy, just like how you could change it on social media, I would have changed my name.
This nigga's name is Juan Carlos. That's crazy.
That's the most Mexican name ever. Do you don't have a middle name, do you?
Yeah, I have 2, but I will never say it on this podcast.
What is it? I was gonna say something. What is
Javante?
it?
Is that what you're gonna say?
I mean, what is it?
That's not important. What's
like
important is
Brandon, Andre.
how you've been doing.
You know what,
That's
man?
what's important.
You know what? I've been doing very good, honestly. I ain't gonna lie, it's been a challenge though, honestly. Like the last few months, you know, just trying to be like patient. You know, like, we've been talking about this, like obviously like off the camera and stuff like that. Trying to be patient, you know, like we got the website done, Clothing brand connected to the website. We have our Connect account where we can offer like conversations or coaching. People could reach us on there. And then, you know, dealing with my own personal development and stuff like that, trying to stay focused, you know, falling off a little bit here and there with certain things, like, you know, little habits. I'm trying to, like, tweak it out and just trying to stay consistent. Like, really just being patient, bro. Like, that's, like, the hardest thing I like to deal with because I always want more and more and more. Like, it's never enough, you know, like how much money I'm making, what I'm doing in my day. Trying to be disciplined here. Like, if I'm not doing everything right, I feel like I'm doing everything wrong. So I'm trying to like balance that out. But what about you though? Like, how you been doing with everything that's going on? Like, I know we've had like some setbacks like recently. Like, I mean, we haven't shot an episode in like 2 months or I don't even, maybe a month and a half, whatever. But like with everything with you, like where, you know, from where you were at to right now, like what's going on with you?
I've been doing better these past couple days. I would say, like, you know, it's been tough for sure. This past month and a half, this past year, honestly, this last year has been tough. You know, all the stuff's been going on in my family and stuff like that. But dealing with it on my own, I would say, is the part that's challenging. But like, I feel so much better because you're getting through it. You know what I'm saying? Once you come on the other end of certain things, just like, okay, I wonder what else I can withstand. You know what I mean? What else I can get through? What else I can grind through? You know, and you know the details of everything that's been going on. And, you know, to get to a point right now where it's just like, you know, I had to take, you know, a couple weeks, you know, to get myself right or to like basically rewire myself. And the best things for me personally, because I know myself, bro, I gotta isolate from everybody. When certain things are happening, as the things that happened, a couple weeks ago, it's just been like kind of like regrouping for me, and getting my mind right. So like I've been telling you, like going to the gym consistently, working on something, I switched careers, and getting things back to a flow and getting into a routine to where I won't veer off of it. So now that I'm living out here, now it's easier to, do podcasts and stuff like that or go live. But I'd say as a whole, man, it's definitely, it's been, one of the toughest times of my life. But like, who am I to sit here and complain about certain things that happen in my life when every day someone's dying? Every day, people are going through stuff worse than mine. So I can't sit here and mope and groan. Yeah, I could take my little day or two, but after that, it's just kind of like I'm fully able and capable of, doing anything I need to do to get out of that situation. So why not just do it? And I think that has been the best thing for me is, getting sun, working out, and taking the time to like mentally like recoup with everything.
Yeah, I always have to remind myself, like, God gives you things. God won't give you something that you can't bear. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the one thing I always remind myself. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was, like, on the way home from work today, too, because I worked, like, 12 hours this whole week, worked just, like, 8 hours today. If I could have worked 12 hours, I would have worked 12 because, I'm trying to use all the money I can to, like, pay off debt, invest into this, buy more of this, do more of that, whatever. And I was literally driving on the way home. And I've been thinking about like, a lot of stuff lately. I'm just like, man, I'm not where I want to be yet. Like I don't have it all yet. I'm not at my destination that I see, the vision that I see, like the acre of land, the house, 3 houses, and the studio for our podcast, like all these other things, our website, clothing brand, like doing all these things. Like I can see it, but then I can't like feel it. I can't like grasp it because it's not there yet. Pause. And like like all that stuff, like bro, I was literally driving on the way over here playing like music, and I literally just started like yelling in my car. Like just I was like, you know what, like I don't know why I seen it in the movie. This guy was just like going through some shit and just driving, and he just started yelling.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I forgot what
I don't know what movie it is, but he like felt better after too, huh?
Yeah, I was just like, fuck it. I was like in my car by myself, obviously. Like I just started, like, I just yelled, like just like kind of like yell out my frustrations, kind of. And I have to remind myself to like, like you gotta be patient, like, like this is one clip that I posted on my story. I don't know if you've seen it. It was I forgot this dude's name, man, but he was talking about how like God has a plan for you. And that destination that you can see, like how I was talking about the acre of land, everything with the podcast, clothing brand, like all these other adventures. You see the destination, and God has that in store for you. But if God were to show you all the things that you were going to go through to get there, you'll probably turn around and be like, "Fuck all that," And so it's kind of like I'm going through all that frustrations. While still trying to live life, while still trying to be a good man to everybody in my life, trying to be a better friend, a better family member. Like, I've been slacking off on like building my relationships, keeping those relationships, like hitting up my friends, hitting up my family. Like, I like been doing terrible at that. That's something I could always improve on. And maybe I'm taking myself too serious, and I just need to just like let go and just like, just day by day and like don't judge myself too much. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like I'm desperate. Like time could be running out. Like, you don't know. Like, I could die tomorrow, So, and like my biggest fear is like dying before I get where I'm going. And so I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to do everything I can now, but even then, it still doesn't feel like enough. And so I remember just driving, and I just yelled in my car. I ain't gonna lie, I like broke down in my car, like on the way over here after work too. But I think it's a good thing, It's not like my life sucks, Like life is good, bro. Like I'm fucking alive. I could breathe, the fact that I can cry, the fact that I drove from work, like I'm not. Life ain't fucking bad. Like don't get me wrong, but it's not where I want to be. But like I'm over here, getting frustrated with that. There's people that can't even pay rent. There's people that just lost their job. There's people that just lost a child, lost a loved one, whatever. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that I'm going through, like, it's only for me, like, and like, I have to like try to be okay with that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And you just know where you want to be, bro. And being able to actually let that frustration out in that way, I'd rather it be let out that way than let out against someone. You feel what I'm saying? Because, when you're handling things on your own, or when you're thinking of like where you want to be and it's all these frustrations are pent up, it can be directed at someone. And I've been there before to where it's like, I'm going through some shit. I don't talk about it. I don't communicate it with nobody. And then now, like, it's just one thing that can spark an argument or something, and then I blow up on somebody, and it has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with what they said or anything. It wasn't even that serious. But because I'm frustrated about something I was dealing with, or maybe I didn't want to talk to anybody that day, and they kept trying to force a conversation, you don't want that to be directed towards anyone. So that's good that you were able to get it out. It's okay. Yeah, like you said, it's okay to cry, like, to get those feelings out, because it's like, it's not like you're sad or anything, but it's just like you are a certain type of individual that knows where you can be and knows where you want to be. And that's a frustration that a lot of people who are, have a vision for themselves are, like you could sit there and kick yourself all day about not being where you want to be, but this process is going to be a part of the story, a part of the chapter, and you're going to look back and you're like, damn, man, like, I remember that feeling, like a movie type, you know what I'm saying? But you just got to keep driving. You just got to keep like kicking, and, things are going to work out. Things are going to come to fruition. And like you said, like, we might not know what's in front of us, but we know we're going to get there. I don't care. I don't mean to cuss, but I don't give a fuck what's in front of me. I'm willing to run through walls to get to where we know we can get.
Yeah, do you have this like struggle? I was just thinking about this right now. This other popular video of like a homeless dude at a gas station talking about this. He was saying like, I feel like God wants to pull me this direction, and like I could feel it, I could see it. That's actually how I want to be too, and I can see myself. That's what I'm working towards. But I feel like the devil, which metaphorically is like your temptations, your habits, sugar cravings, alcohol cravings, or for certain people it could be like pornography, women, like grabbing that donut instead of going for like a walk or a run, or grabbing that or making a smoothie instead of grabbing that beer. Like, I feel like God is trying to pull me this way, and then like the devil keeps bringing me back this way, and I'm just like in the middle just fighting like every day. Like that's literally how I feel like every single day. It's like every day I'm getting tested. Like there's a lot of days where I succeed, and there's a lot of moments that I succeed and a lot of moments that I fail. And I'm just like, damn, man, I think to myself like what more can I do? I feel like, why am I still struggling with something that should be as easy as just making a choice? How come I can't just go to the gym without making an excuse like, I don't want to go to the gym in the afternoon. There's hella people there. And then I just default, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I'll go to the gym tomorrow early in the morning, and then early morning comes, and then I wake up and I snooze. But then there might be another day where I do make it to the gym, and then the next day I don't. Or I go to the gym and I go too crazy, and then I'm sore for like a week. So I'm like, fuck, it's like I can never find the balance. And like I don't know how you feel about that, right? Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been struggling terribly mentally, but not in a place of like I'm depressed, but more I'm just like, man, like I'm losing to myself. Like, god damn it, like, for me, I get so focused on doing a bunch of shit that I start to lose myself. And then like, you might start to not take care of yourself. Like, working a lot of hours, like that shit, you lose yourself, like working too many hours at a job, because because it's taking a lot of your time. Like, it's really, I'm working 12 hours, right? But then when you add up, like, you're commuting to work, you're commuting back from work, you're going to sleep at a certain time because of work. And like all that stuff adds up. For me, it's like 18 hours out of my day. Like, if I were to add it all up, it's 18 hours. And then I got a few hours to work with. And so I'm just like, shit, what the hell am I going to do for 2 hours? I can't even sleep 8 hours. I sleep like 3.5, which is terrible. And I feel it every single morning. That shit adds up, you know? So I'm just like, damn, man, like how the hell could I try to find this balance? I'm like, you know what? I just got to put my head down and just like work 12 hours every single goddamn day. Use that money very, very, very wisely. Be super, super, super strict. Be frugal as shit. Pay off this debt. Put myself in a position where I don't have to work no more. And then I could then change my lifestyle. But right now it's like, shit, I got to do what I got to do. And it's like, I don't know how you feel. Like, I don't know if you have those struggles like that, but like God's trying to pull you this way. You're trying to go this way, but then sometimes you default to an old habit, or you say you want to work this, you want to improve this, you want to do better at this. You know you should be doing this with your time. You know you should be doing more with this. You know you should be developing the skill, but then here you are doing this. Here you are doing that, you know?
Yeah, so I relate to you in all the aspects that you just brought up. So in a spiritual manner, like I've always felt that my whole life, because the devil knows when you're going against the grain and you're doing things that he knows that is pleasing to God, he wants to get you. He gonna put in double time towards you. He gonna be watching you. He's gonna throw temptation in front of you. Every desire that you have, he gonna put in front of you on purpose, because he wants it's so easy for the average man to do whatever his friends is doing, or doing whatever his environment is doing, or doing the things that's easy to him, like clubbing every day. It's easy to go to the club and bar every day. It's easy to just work, just to have money to go blow, or to, you know, stay at your mom's house, or maybe not work, stay on unemployment, not have any goals or aspirations. It's easy to not work out, to do those things, right? But when you're on the right path, like for me, for instance, is reading my Bible, and I struggle with like doing it consistently because of different things happening. You know, I gotta have time to work, I gotta have time to do X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, before you even know it, it's the end of the day and you're tired, and it's like, damn, man, it's like, I go to work and then I cut hair, and then after, and it's like, okay, like as long as I pray, you know, I'm good. Or like, damn, I didn't pray yesterday, but I'm gonna pray today. Or then I'm like, damn, bro, like I have to do better. I don't like to feel like, damn, I'm preaching, I'm talking to people about, you know, following God, and I'm slacking on my own shit. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like my whole life I've dealt with that imposter syndrome, or getting pulled from my temptations in every direction. You know what I'm saying? Especially like, you know, with relationships or anything like that. And I know, I just keep in mind that the devil wants you. You know what I'm saying? I look at myself as chosen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're following God, you know you're a chosen set of people, and the devil is gonna do everything in his power to pull you in that direction. And when it comes to, you know, like how you were saying, the financial aspect of it too, you know, I struggle with that as well, because I'm like, man, like, you know, I've been staying home, I'm supposed to be saving this and that, and I'm, you know, still in the same position. I ain't paid off my credit yet. I ain't did this, you know, yeah, my credit's not where I want it to be. You know, I still have debt on my car, yeah. And it's frustrating, dog, especially when you're doing it every day and you're like, bro, I'm wasting my life doing this to get to a better position, and I feel like I'm stuck. And that's, you know, part of it too, is like, that's why there's interest on these cards. That's why there's all these fast food places. That's why, you know, it's easy to not do that shit. That's why they make it expensive to eat healthy. That's why they make it expensive to have a gym membership or a personal trainer. You feel what I'm saying? Because they want it to be as easy as possible for us to be as low vibration as possible. You feel what I'm saying? It's easy to lay up and watch Netflix all day, right? Netflix is what, $7? And then your gym membership is probably, you know, in shape. Let's just say in shape. It's around $75 a month, you know, and enrollment fees and stuff like that. After that, you're looking at paying like, you know, $150, whatever it may be. But it's just like, why is that so expensive? You know, but all these other things, like you can go to McDonald's, go home, watch Netflix for the night after work, and be chilling, right? But that's not the vibe I want to be on. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like, you know, I'm a pro athlete. You know, I can't miss days in the gym. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like an imposter when I do that. So staying on the right path and like knowing like you're there's a target on your back at the end of the day in all aspects, and doing the best that you can do for you is the best thing that you can do. Being consistent with it, because consistency that doesn't come easily at all.
Yeah, because I don't want to sound like I'm like complaining too. It's like it's demoralizing though. It's like you're putting in this effort every day or every week. You're doing all these hours, and you get paid. Or before you get paid, you're like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this with my money. And then the day comes, you spend money on this. The next day comes, you spend money on that. You pay your bills, and then you're left with whatever. And then you know, the stress of, you know, your life, your job, you're not prioritizing. And then, you know, within like 5 days, you look at your account and there's nothing there again. And you're like, fuck, you're like, okay, next week, you know, I'm going to make sure I do this. And then I cut that next week or a couple of weeks comes and then you get paid again and you fall into the same thing. It's like, it's almost like it's annoying. It's just like, God damn, I just can't get this shit right. Or it's like, you know, you can always look at things like, oh, things are just so expensive now, or I just got hella bills, or blah, 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 blah. I got to make more money. And it's just like, damn, man, it's like nothing's changing. It's like annoying to see, but then it's like, okay, you know, I need to do something completely fucking different. Like, because what I'm doing is not fucking working. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got to write shit down. I got to listen to somebody new. I got to surround myself with new people. Maybe got to stop watching this shit that I keep watching. My daily routine, it ain't working. You know, like, that's one thing I've been, like, more mindful of is, like, what I'm consuming. And that's what I noticed, like, because you are what you consume, I believe. Like, the information that you watch, like the TV or what you spend time on watching or playing video games, or what you're reading, or social media, how many times you're scrolling, what's on your, like, your social media feed. Like, all that stuff kind of puts you in this, like, frame of mind. And I feel like all these things, like how you were saying, like, lowers your, like, vibrations, like alcohol lowers your vibrations, like smoking weed lowers your vibrations, a certain food that you eat lowers your vibrations. And if you're already working full time and you got all this shit going on, like, you know, a lot of your energy gets, you know, expelled into, like, your job. You know, you gotta wake up early or you gotta wake up later. While you're at work, you got to stay working, motivated, even though there's a billion things that you can do outside of what you're doing at work that you would like to do, but you have to take this energy and force yourself to get to work, to clock in. Like, but you know, you don't want to be there, but you kind of have to be there because you have to get paid to pay these bills. That's some of the things that, like, you know, people don't realize, I think, takes a lot of energy, and that's why you don't really do shit outside, because you spent so much energy at work. And that's why, for me, I'd be trying to, like, not spend so much energy on even talking to a lot of people at work. I try to, like, not spend a lot of energy, like, in drama or gossip or whatever. And I could do way better at that when it comes to social media too, because, like, all that stuff takes a lot of energy from, like, what you could be doing outside or going to the gym, eating better, all that stuff. And so I'm like, damn, man, I'm always trying to find this fucking thing, so-called balance shit, but it's like, what the fuck does that even mean? You know, it's like, and then it's, for me, I look at myself too. It's like, you know, I want to be like how you were talking about earlier. Like, I want to be more consistent with God. Like, why is it that when I'm struggling, that's the moment that I really want to now get closer to God? I'm like, and I don't know, it's like a human thing that I just tend to see. Like, you know, a lot of people don't really feel the need of God until, like, shit starts going on, which I think is fair, right? Like, when you're struggling, like, God should be the person you should be going to. But then it's like, when things are going good, how come I'm not doing that, you know? Or maybe I am doing it, but not at the level that I'm doing it when I'm hurting, whatever, physically or mentally, whatever. And so for me, it's like, you know, like, I haven't been praying as much as I should. I'm not being thankful as much as I should be. You know, I'm just so looking at myself like I'm so important, like, as in, like, everything revolves around me. I mean, it is my life, yeah, but oh shit. At the same time, like, that was see that quick cash. I was like, but like, at the same time, but at the same time, like, I think to myself, like, maybe I'm taking myself too serious. Like, maybe I am looking at the things that I'm trying to do, and I'm not being present. And that shit sounds hella cringe and lame. But, like, you know, I think for me, like, being present is, like, focusing on, like, the journey, as in, like, my everyday, focusing on, like, my family, my friends, hitting them up. Like, it's kind of crazy how I can go days and weeks without talking to family and friends, and like don't even try to connect with them, not don't even try to plan a weekend and just do some simple shit. Nothing has to, it doesn't have to be extraordinary. It doesn't have to be a reunion. Like I could just click up with some people here and there, or just send a text or just a call. Like how come I don't do that? And like I think we take ourselves so serious, or we get so busy with shit, and we're so focused on our own shit that we forget like all that shit's not even gonna matter. Like I mean, depending on what you're doing, right? But like life is so short, and like I sometimes forget, like I want to do things based on like just the ability to, who's gonna be at my funeral and what people are gonna say, and I forget that sometimes. Like when you be so focused on yourself, it's like fuck, man, don't forget about the people. You're so focused on doing these things. It's like, what about those relationships, those connections? It's like, yeah, you can talk to this person and it feels like you guys connect each other. Like again, like the last time you guys talked, it could have been years, months, but like I don't want, the next time somebody thinks of me or whatever is at my funeral, like, man, I gotta at least try to do this weekly or monthly or something. And so like yeah, man, I'm just trying to fucking like get, what's funny is like I'm doing the shit, like I feel like I'm on track, but I feel like I'm right on the bridge of losing my fucking mind, or I'm right where I need to be, where other people quit, and I just got to keep going. And I'm not like doom.
I think you're at that point to where it's like, I feel like you're at a breaking point to where it's either you have two options. The red pill, the blue pill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can give up and guarantee failure, or you can keep going and see where it takes you. Because I don't think you're doing anything wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't eat like shit. You take care of your body. I've watched you run. Yeah, you might not run 5 miles every day, but I've seen you bust your ass in the gym. I've seen how you work out. You're doing things the right way. You have your own spot. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you have a consistent job, money coming in. A lot of people can't say that, especially at our age. And I think that standard in itself, it's motivated me to push towards getting my own spot. You feel me? Because I seen it firsthand, and this is something that you've been doing, and I see, and I like, now that I'm, out, I see like, okay, it's a difference, because I've had my apartments and like the places I've played football, right? So I had an apartment in Lamar, right? Obviously, you're gonna have an apartment. They pay for it. It's good, but you don't really appreciate it. Then when I go to the Panthers, they hand me the keys. I got a apartment to stay in. No, don't have to pay rent. Don't have to do nothing, right? But when you're trying to get a place on your own, and you have to pay that rent every month from going to a job, bro, that is a different monster, bro. That makes you really appreciate the apartments and the places that you did have for the F. And when I look and I see, I'm like, damn, Juan's been staying at this place for I don't know how long, paying rent, going to work every month or every day to afford that, still save, still elevate itself, still find different ways to make money, do X, Y, and Z. It's like you're doing the right shit, and it's motivating. And as it pertains to like, reaching out to family members and building relationships, yeah, that's good too. But if you're in a mindset of like you're grinding, there's nothing wrong with maybe you don't talk to your family members every day. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe you every Friday you check up on everybody. But I think it's healthy to have someone to talk to. Yeah, like say you have your younger brother or your sister or me or whatever. Like, hey, like in the instances when we talked about like you were in the car and you were just like going through shit, bruh. You can call me at any time. You feel what I'm saying? That type of stuff can be talked with your boy or hey, B-Dab, like yeah, I just had some few things I wanted to get off my chest or whatever it may be, because that's type of therapy. You know what I'm saying? Or hey, bro, like let's hit the gym. Let's do this. Hey, let's go for a jog, bro. I just want to jog and talk. Those type of things can help you push forward, and then you don't even have to like double guess yourself or second guess yourself. Because it's not like you're not doing anything wrong, bro. It's a million and one things I can be doing better today.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But the best thing for me to do and what helps me to not beat myself up is focus on one thing to be doing better a day. Okay, I wasn't working out as consistent as I was. Okay, boom. Today, I'm going to start. I'm going to the gym every day. I don't care how I feel. I'm going to the gym every day. Okay, next, hey, I don't read enough. Okay, I'm going to start reading today. I'm going to start a book today. Okay, now I'm working out and reading. And it just stacks up because you can stack things like that. Like, okay, I'm going to do this better. I'm going to do this better. I'm going to do this. For you, finances. One of the things that helped me a little bit, because I was like, man, I'm staying home. Why am I not saving bread, bro? Like, this don't make no fucking sense. Like, I'm in the same car. I haven't paid it down anymore. I'm not making double payments. Lacking on some areas with my credit. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I was like, you know what? Let me stop spending money on food, going out. Let me stop going and celebrating for no reason. You know what I'm saying? This was like during COVID, but I'm like, let me stop doing all this unnecessary bullshit that's taking money out of my pocket because the money I'm getting is limited. So it's like, why am I going to sit here and waste money on that when you calculate it, you're like, damn, this is $500 extra a month that I've been blowing just because I want to eat McDonald's, or fast food or In-N-Out, So just really like budgeting would be, that's just a way better way to use your bread, because it's not about how much you make. The book you put me on, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you make. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're bringing in a band a week, that's not no chump change. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have a $1,300 apartment, $1,500 apartment, you could still do a lot with that. You feel what I'm saying? It's just, you got to have everything out as you do and really, really, okay, what else can I do to make money? You're cutting hair on the side. Okay, boom, boom, boom. That money's going to go into a jar. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm going to do this. That's going to go here. Woo. And when you're going strict on something like that, bro, as you already know, this is for anybody that needs to hear. Once you're on a budget, living below your means and cutting out all the bullshit, you start to realize, damn, every dollar I do make does matter and it can benefit me in any way I want it to. So why not put the things you need to put away and do the things that actually matter? Hey, I need a gym membership. Hey, I need to read more. I can order a book for $5, $10. Okay, I want to lose a little bit of weight. I can buy a workout, a dietitian's meal plan, and I can get started today. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, I need to save money. Okay. Look up whatever rule you want, the 50, 30, 10, 20 rule, whatever you want to look up, and start splitting your money up that way. There's a whole bunch of ways that you can go about it. But what I want to say to you is, in your situation, bro, you're doing shit the right way, dog. You feel what I'm saying? Don't discourage yourself and be in a kind of headspace where it's like, damn, I'm failing. I'm doing this. I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing that right. Because a lot of shit you're doing right. Yeah, you can be doing a lot of stuff better. That's everybody. You're never going to get into a point where you don't have to improve in something. You have to improve in every single detail of your life. Relationships, finances, credit, anything. But don't get to the point where it's toxic to you. Like, you let your mind beat you down, bro. Trust me, bro. I've done that shit my whole life, bro. I'm telling you, that shit can lead you down a dark path, bro. And that's one of the things that, like, during football, like when I was at Lamar, bro, I let that shit kill me, bro. Where I'm only in my room by myself, like 24/7, like practice straight back to the room, practice straight back to the room. And I'm telling you, you can't let that stuff affect you. You gotta, obviously take the hits on the chin, shrug your shoulders and get back up.
What's going on, you guys? This is JC, co-host of Self Revelations Podcast. Connect with me on Manek, where you can find me to ask me any questions, anything with coaching, personal development, your day-to-day, even a conversation that you might not be able to have with anybody else. The link is in the bio. Go ahead and follow me on there on Manek.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one thing I've been like realizing too. It's like, for us as people, we don't really need to learn a lot of new shit sometimes. Obviously, educate yourself, you're learning, new skills, but we actually need a lot of things to remember. like that's why it's cool to like write your goals down. I write a lot of shit down, but I'm so disorganized. I'm trying to get better at that, but like we need to mostly remember like who we are, who we're trying to be, like, you know, like that's why I think a vision board is good, because it reminds you again, it brings you back, which I still haven't fucking done yet. Now I'm starting to realize it. Like I need something I can see, because I have like quotes like, oh shit, I forgot I'm recording with my phone, but like on my phone I have like notes that I take, and it's just like one-liners, like it's just like quotes that I make, and I'll look at them, just read them, and it'll just remind me of like who I am or where I'm trying to go. Because bro, I'm trying to like really do something with my life, but not obviously for me, but for everybody else. And sometimes I think like, am I doing right by doing that, or should I be selfish? I mean, it is selfish still. Like I'm doing it for the feeling that I'm gonna get from having my dad walk around that a few acres of land with the house and everything, having friends, family together at my place to do some activity, you know, whatever, a birthday celebration, whatever, Thanksgiving. And like those type of things are like, selfishly I'm doing it just to see it and to see everybody happy and like doing something that people have yet to experience, whatever. But that's what I've been thinking, or kind of getting into. Like something you have to like, because like my curiosity lately, I felt has like died. Like I was so interested in learning a bunch of shit, and then, you know, things happen, life events, and like you then get into like survival mode. Like right now I'm on survival mode. Like I'm just trying to get through the day. I'm trying to just do what I gotta do, and like nothing more, nothing less. Like just go to work, come home, you know, do what I gotta do at home, study this, study that, try to do it the best I can, try to be as present as I can, and then go to sleep and do the same thing again tomorrow. It's like, so it's like, God damn it, like I'm in this routine, but at the same time, like I know this is not gonna last forever. So it's like, I remember I were talking on the phone. I forgot, well, it wasn't yesterday, I think, was it? Like the stuff that you had kind of had going on, or like even when you're like in a challenging moment in your life, is like a year later, this might not even mean nothing no more. I mean, still, I want to say that, but I say a year later, a few years later, like those times where you feel like life is just, everything is just falling on you, like all that pressure, all that weight. Like 5 years later or 10 years later, you look back and you're not gonna feel that same way you were at that time. Like it's something so small to your life of, maybe hopefully, God willingly, like you live up to like 100 years, like something that you dealt with when you were in your 20s and you're like 75 now, ain't shit, like, because life is always gonna throw challenges at you. And so for me, I'm always just trying to remind myself, like, like, what are you doing this for? Like, what's your intentions? And like don't forget God. Like I feel like, ever since I got close to God now, the moments that I start to lose myself is because I'm losing sight of God. Like I'm not keeping God within my mind. I'm not keeping God like within my choices. Like, and so I have to like, remind myself. You want some water? You over here drinking air? Big jugs. Pause. I mean, big jugs? Yes. It is a jug, though.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, like I'm, like I'm super, like, hard on myself. But at the same time, like, this is what's elevating me, though, at the same time. I don't know. I have the most toxic relationship with myself.
That's a good mentality. Because if you don't beat yourself up, then you kind of get complacent.
Yeah,
because remember when we used to play, you were the same as, I noticed that early on, you were the same as me. As like, if you fucked up in a play, you're like, fuck, like, yeah, even when it got to a point where it's like, even like you hit your own helmet, like, damn, come on, like, tighten up. Like, you're your own coach, you're your own critic. If you remove that, bro, it would just be kind of, oh, okay, I got BI, it happens. Oh, yeah, I fucked up, yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then where does that line draw where you do have that? Yeah, you fuck up in real life. Oh, I crashed my car because I was doing donuts. Oh well, I'll get a new one. Mm-hmm. It's good to have that type of mentality. Yeah, the negative aspect of it is, yeah, you beat yourself up a lot and it fucks with you mentally, but that's better than being complacent and not accomplishing anything. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't win with that other mindset, bro. You have to have a mindset like that where you can self-correct and self-coach yourself.
Yeah, it's hard to be trying to be a responsible person because, like it's so easy to not give a fuck. It's so easy, and that's a battle. That's a battle that I have every day. Is like try not to be comfortable. I'm always, because as a human, that's the reason why life has become difficult for a lot of people, is because as a human you want to be comfortable, but now everything is so accessible to you. Food comes to you. I mean, people can shop for your clothes, your groceries. You fuck around, there's gonna be a point where there's an app where people could go get gas for you, like for your car. Like everything has become so easy. Everything has become so accessible for you to be comfortable. But that is also the problem. Like, who says you're supposed to be comfortable? And it's like that same thing is the same situation that kind of holds you back from elevating. Like if you're always comfortable and you're never uncomfortable, then you're never like growing. You're never like growing your brain plasticity in within you to, like learn new skills or stuff like that. You're not being forced to be in an uncomfortable situation. Sometimes I think about just saying fuck it and like losing my job, knowing that I have rent and got bills to pay, just to push myself in a situation where I'm like, oh fuck, desperate mode, uncomfortable, to make a move that might change my life forever. Because like, that's what I'm saying. I think like when life throws you like these challenges and like knocks off your comfortability and that you've had so far in this life, I think that those are so good. Like, you know what I'm saying? When bad shit happens, when life altering shit happens, you have a fucking reason to get the fuck up off your ass and do something. Like, and so that's why I don't really like look bad at like those like, depressing moments or something happens in life, because like that's gonna now put that fire within you to do something now. Like all the shit that you were trying to do that you've been slacking off because you can go get a beer, life is great, you got a little job, whatever, you got a little place you can stay, you got a little nice car, life is cool, whatever. And then like you find out your dad's sick, your dad can't work, and you're like, oh fuck, man, I gotta really make some money. Like like you're so worried about, you were so focused on your bills and everything's cool with you, but what about your family now? You're like, oh shit, now I gotta step it up. And I feel like those type of things are like good for you, like you gotta like face some challenges and stuff like that, because life is like super easy right now, but that's also the problem. Like there's so many options. You could be anything you really want to be. That's also a problem, because before you didn't have a lot of options. Either you did what your dad did, you own that business that he was working in, or you go work with where your dad was at, or you go to school, college, or you go to the military. But now it's like you could be a social media influencer. You could sell on Amazon. You can sell drugs. You can make music. You can make art. You can make NFTs. You can invest. You could do crypto. You could paint buildings. You could be a construction worker. It's infinite amount of things. And then you got to try to like niche it down to what you truly want. And it's like, it's hard. There's just so many options everywhere, like relationships with women. For women, like there's a lot of other men that you can find on social media. It's like shit. Like right now I'm thinking about like unfollowing everybody on my Instagram and make it like a separate one, maybe just to keep like my family friends on, like what do they call that shit? A Finsta? I don't know where the fuck that shit's called, but like I want to make my I'm probably gonna do this, like have like my own Instagram page, like just my family and friends, like only family and friends, like people who I talk to,
like a private one.
Mm-hmm. And then for like the social media that I use like consistently on for the business or whatever, so like our podcast, clothing brand, all that other shit, I'm gonna unfollow everybody and only follow things that are gonna inspire me or motivate me, like like those videos, posts like that, those motivating shit, and things that make me feel good, or business advice or perspective, philosophy and all that, spirituality, all that, and only follow those type of pages on that. Because like I don't really give a I gotta be honest, like I don't really give a fuck about what anybody's really doing, honestly, unless like something's going on in their life that's people who I care about. Then I'll reach out. And also cool, like it reminds me of birthdays on there. Like I gotta do my calendar though, because sometimes I forget people's birthdays and shit until I see like somebody post on their Instagram, like somebody post them, they repost on their story. I'm like, oh fuck, hey, happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I don't know, I might do that shit, because you need to like niche down like what you want to be, what you want to do, and everything that you see has to align with that. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if I'm trying to build something, I shouldn't be consuming what's going on in the NFL. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Raiders fan, obviously. Like, I love the Raiders and stuff, but I can't. And it's a form of escapism. You know, like, I play fantasy football. I bet a little bit, haram, but I'm trying to be better. But, like, you know, I might be spending too much time on these things. That's just an example. Like, I might be spending time on these things that takes away from what I'm trying to build. You know, there's time for that, you know, but it's hard to, like, it's hard to find a balance between being a consumer and building. So either you go all in on the building, or you try to half-ass and you're still consuming. You're watching bullshit, doing bullshit, but then you're building on the side. I'm like, I have to build first. Like, I should be building before I'm even thinking about consuming, but I don't know. And then people tell you, like, oh, relax, you know, like, you're doing good. Like, you were saying, like, some good stuff too, but it's kind of like, how can I relax when I'm not where I want to be yet? You know? So I'm like trying to figure that out. And all I can do is just do something that I'm forgetting, which is have faith that's going to work out. And that's really as simple as that. Like, have faith that's going to work out. Do your fucking best. Read this book again. And that's what I'm doing again, like the 4 Agreements. Like, I'm reading this shit. I'm like taking notes. Like, the next episode, hopefully we do, is going to be about this. And, you know, remind myself of, like, how to go through the everyday, you know, journey of life, basically.
Yeah, facts. Man, my boy preaching. Stop playing.
That's I don't know, huh? Speaking from the heart, man. Fuck.
Yeah. So, in terms of, you know, where you were, where you're going, the whole process, you know, some of your goals, what is something that you feel like today can be implemented to either make that process easier for you, or make that process of getting to where you can be a actual reality? What's something that is like, okay, I can do this today, and this can help me in that process?
I think like the Instagram shit, social media, everything on my phone. Like, delete everything. Like, delete everything that, like, is not the podcast, my own little writing, content creation thing I'm trying to do, like my little philosophy, spirituality, like, you know, the little part of my arrogance I've been starting to do, like, the podcast notes for our next episode for the 4 Agreements, my family, friends, work, and things that, well, I mean, that kind of goes towards with that, right? Like, focusing on my spirituality, my communication, you know, personal freedom, like philosophy and all that stuff. Like, put everything basically in my phone, and like everything what I see, get a vision board, and just, you know, I have to niche it down, like, because everything's so broad, and I want to do a bunch of shit, but that's not the reality. Like, focus on what I can do, you know, instead of what I want to do. And so, like, basically just like niche everything down. Fuck, man, I was on my phone. There's something that I heard today too, but it was something in the eyes of, or in the words of, it's so simple shit. It's always like the simple fucking quotes.
And you can't remember it, but it's like on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah. At the same time too, it's the simple quotes that it's like, well, fucking duh. But then it's like, duh, but yeah, I'm not doing it. It'll be something like, you know, like, the more you listen, the more you know.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy B-Dab, co-host of Self Revelations Podcast. I just wanted to let you guys know to connect with me on Connect. It's a new program that we're going to be partnering with. We're going to be providing mentorship, advice, FaceTime videos, text messages, basically connecting us with you guys, our community. So make your account and let's get connected. Link is in the bio.
Like, shit like that is so simple and so, like, generic, but it's so powerful. The more you listen, the more you know. And, like, that could apply with the conversation that we're having. That could apply with a conversation you're having at work. That could apply to every time you're talking to somebody. Like, the more you listen, the more you learn, right? And also, like, the more you listen to yourself, the more you learn of what to do. But if you're always consuming shit, like, you're always, like, you know, you're always like you're always either watching something, eating something, or doing something. You're never like giving yourself the time to listen to yourself. Because then when you listen to yourself, you're able to figure out like what things need to be fixed, what needs to be prioritized, and like what the fuck you gotta do. So like that's what I'm realizing for me is like, you know, just niche everything down. But with you, like how are you keeping yourself going right now? Like that's a lame ass question. Let me
No, ask it. Don't ask it.
Like what I really want to like probably like dive into a little bit is like, you know, what is it that is not having you default, you know, because a lot of people, like, remember how I was talking about earlier, like I'm on the brink of losing my fucking mind and also getting to where I want to be if I just keep going. But also like there's people that they have their own version of what I have, but they'll like right now, right? I was elevating at my job, like I was like climbing the corporate ladder super fast, and I had like went to a different company and was excelling there. But then like, you know, a life-changing event happens, and then you have to kind of survive and do what you got to do, and I had to go back to the old company that I left, and it kind of changed everything. It kind of like reprioritized what's important in life. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have the ability of freedom working at a job. Like being a company man, like the freedom that I want, it has no cap. There's no positional title. Like what I'm doing is the entrepreneurship route. Like that's what I want to do. So I got to go all in. So I had to sacrifice from doing something I could easily fucking do, which is become a VP, a vice president of a company. I could easily do that. I was already on my way climbing to that. But I took a chance and was like, I could do that. It's easy. Like it's not. I'm pretty good at communicating. I can talk to people. I'm a good leader. Like I've been in those situations where I lead teams of like 50 to 100 people, and I have that ability because I have a strong voice, I have a strong presence, and I have good intentions, and people can like feel that and like follow me with whatever the fuck I say. But for some reason, I'm like, this isn't it. Like this. Yeah, I could be successful in that route and make money, but it's going to be capped, and I'm going to have to censor myself. I can't really truly be myself. I have to like be careful of what I say and how I talk to people, because all these people are bridges to this next position, to this title, to this reference and stuff like that. You have to be fake. You have to fake it till you make it. And so you're the big boss, and now you can do what you want to do, whatever. But I'm like, fuck that, man. Like I'd rather just take a chance and go the entrepreneur route, focus on our podcast, focus on this shit, like, and try to scale it as high as we can go. But that's the part that people quit. You know, it's easy to put entrepreneur in your bio, but then you notice weeks, months later, you take that shit off because they go back to working that job. Like it's easy. And like how I was saying, I'm on the brink of, you know, lose my mind or keep going. I'm also that it comes into my mind too. It's like, fuck it, man, just go back to work and try to, you know, elevate from there. And then you start to go back to this, like this default, this comfortability, this structure. Like there's structure in like climbing. It's like going to school. There's structure in going to school. But my whole life has been no structure, but I found a structure in a company or be in corporate. But I'm like, fuck, like that's the easy way out. I'm like, but if I go the entrepreneur route, which there is no structure, there's no like you do this and do that and you get this, like there's a whole bunch of shit that keeps going on. Like, you know, with our podcast journey, we're always constantly adapting and doing different things. We want to implement new things, and there's a lot of inconsistencies and stuff like that. But the rewards will be there if you just keep doing it. So like for you, you have a degree. Mm-hmm. You have football. You have the podcast. You have cutting hair. You have the physical fitness. You have a lot of outlets and different things, and a lot of things you could probably fall back on. But for you, I never asked you this question, but I'm asking it now. Like, what is it that you want? like, what are you picturing yourself? Like, when if you were to ask me, like, I want to focus on being a full entrepreneur. Like, I don't want, fuck the structure shit. I just want the ability to create. I want to create, like, for me, in my own thing, right? Like, I want to give a message out of, like, philosophy and spirituality of my perspective that I have seen that has helped people and helped me and whatever understand life, right? Get my way of philosophy and my message I want to give is, like, personal freedom, right? And entrepreneurship. And I could do a lot with that. I could start a podcast. We've started this podcast, Self Revelations. Like, it's all about, like, personal freedom, really. Like, you know, freeing yourself from restraining yourself mentally and physically and giving you the accountability to change your own life is like for you, like, where do you see yourself going? You know, do you fall back on a degree? Why don't you? And then, like, what is it you see yourself doing? Where do you see yourself, like, leading to? You know, I that was a lot, but yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fine. But no, I feel I think that the thing that I know I'm gonna fall on is some career path or something that I'm doing. As long as I'm doing something that is gonna benefit someone else or help someone else, I know that that's my calling. You know, so whether if it's, you know, when I was personal training, you know, at the time it was helping people get their fitness goals. You know, with cutting hair, you know, you're damn near a counselor. You feel what I'm saying? With football and stuff like that, meeting new people, networking. It taught me a lot about, like, just teamwork and being around a group of guys in general.
My bad.
You feel what I'm saying?
I gotta cut you off. If I were to take away a job from you, like, if you didn't have to work, which one thing would you do and be all in? Like, let's say you don't have to worry about money. Like, what one thing you would go full all out? That's one thing I ask people is, like, if I were to give you $100,000 every year for the rest of your life, what is that one thing you would solely do and just become fucking great at?
Or motivational speaking or podcasting. That'd probably be one of the things. I feel like that's straightforward and direct, and I can preach to people, like, straight to them, like content creation. You know, I'm smart with coming up with different things and stuff like that. And if money wasn't, like, say money wasn't a thing and I could just do one thing, I would just do content creation. And it would be to uplift people. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that in itself, because I know I want to do something that's going to help people. You know what I'm saying? Like, me having a conversation with someone that I'm cutting their hair, yeah, the haircut might not be the best haircut in the world, but the conversations that you're going to have is going to the thing that's going to stick with that person. So if, you know, I can talk to someone or if I can spread my message of like the things I've been through and how God has helped me get to the other side, and someone gets that, just like the podcast, the thing we said for the podcast, why we started. If one person looks at, you know, my story and is like, you know what, I'm going to keep pushing because you got through the same thing I'm going through. That is my purpose, you know, secondly to, you know, preaching. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that's the one thing I think to myself is, like, fuck, man, like, that's the thing that pisses me off about working. Like, every day I go to work, bro, I fucking hate it. I'm, like, so, like, disgusted, pissed off. But not to the point where, like, it alters, like, my energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, every day I go and I'm like, as soon as that alarm goes off at 3:45 a.m., whatever, I wake up and I'm just like, fuck, like, it's like I gotta fucking do this shit again. And every day, you know, like, people don't realize, like, this routine, this robotic routine you're in, like, you wake up and you fucking drive the same route every single fucking day. You take break at the same time. 3:45. You get off at the same time. Yeah. And no, I wake up at 3:45, get home at 6 p.m. You know, like, because I do 12 some crazy hours, you know. And that shit, you know, like, that shit at the same time, and everybody else at my job is comfortable. Motherfuckers have went from job to job, like, motherfuckers are 45 and had 45 jobs. Like, like, they went to warehouse to warehouse to warehouse and warehouse or desk to desk to desk to desk to company. I'm like, bro, I want to make this my last fucking job. Like, that's what I've been saying for the last 5 years too. It's like this is gonna be my last fucking job. Like, I can't do this no more. Like, because it's taking away from what I really want to do, right? Like we have all these things that we want to do that will put us in a better frame of mind and in a higher vibration state where we can do whatever the fuck we want to do. You know, what's going on, you guys? This is JC, co-host of Self Revelations Podcast. Connect with me on Connect, where you can find me to ask me any questions, anything with coaching, personal development, your day-to-day, even a conversation that you might not be able to have with anybody else. The link is in the bio. Go ahead and follow me on there on Connect. You probably would work out more, you would eat better, you would do all these things, but the fact that you gotta work and you gotta do these hours, it takes away from your ability to do that. Like, that shit right there, like, pisses me off, but at the same time, like, drives me to make sure that when I get the fuck out of this job, like, as soon as I clock out, I have to at least do something, at least an hour or something that's gonna invest into getting me out of this job, you know? But
yeah, facts. And that's you know, one of the things that you had, you know, was telling me like a couple weeks ago, like, bro, I only have so many hours. You know, working these crazy hours, then the commute, and then getting home at a certain amount of time, and then you got to go to sleep at a certain amount of time. And you only have an hour and a half to do stuff. Like, you're very selective with the hours that you use because you want to make the, you know, X amount of dollars, and, you know, you're working a job that, you know, you felt like you wanted to be your last stop. And at the end of the day, you got bills. You have to work. It's not like you just can't stop. So, you know, I think that is a great investment. And I think we should all be like that. You know, choose how you spend your time wisely. You know, some people just kick their feet up, turn on that Netflix series.
I don't get it,
get
man.
that liter of soda, drink it straight out the bottle.
That's wild.
And be chilling. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's so easy to get like that. Like, if someone in your shoes, like, say you were a different person, someone in your shoes would be comfortable, kicked up. It's like, what am I gonna start a podcast for? What am I gonna go to the gym for? Well, what am I gonna, you know, I'll go to the gym. Like, I'll go to the gym tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I'm good. I'm comfortable. Me and my lady live with each other. We we this and that. Like, I'm good. You know, a lot of people just check that box, and that's all they want out of, you know, it's nothing wrong with it. You feel what I'm saying? If that's your goals, like, okay, I want to get a crib, move with my lady. As long as I got my job, I'm good. I'm just gonna save, or I'm just gonna blow my money. We're gonna go out. We're gonna eat good. That's if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You know, but for me, it's like, goals that I have set out for myself are bigger than that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know certain things that if I don't do it, nobody's gonna do it in my family, and my nephews and nieces might not ever see it.
Right.
You know, and the fact that they even seen, you know, some of the things that I've done. You know, my nephew made a couple comments to me, bro. He's like, you know, hey, I'm gonna play professional ball one day. You know, because he actually got to see it as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, like, hearing him actually say that, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That can be a defining moment to where, fast forward, he my age, he might be in the NFL. Just because he's like, man, I used to watch Uncle Brandon do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
what if I'm here or not? You feel what I'm saying? So I think that, like, the way that you can touch and inspire your family, your siblings, you know, people around you, it's like, it's so important of right now, like, the things that you're doing as well too. Like, you might not even think like, oh man, like, you know, I don't think that, you know, I'm getting through to, you know, maybe a coworker or a brother or a sister or whatever. The whole time they could be listening to you and watching how you move and be like, and it can be inspiring to them.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And they make the right decision. They might even tell you, but it's like, oh, okay, Juan, I know Big Brother or my coworker put me on game with working out or fasting or doing X, Y, and Z, meditating. I'm gonna try this today, or I'm gonna try this and see how much better I can be. You feel what I'm saying? So, with all of that being said, what do you think? Let's just say somebody who is, you know, drowning in debt, who is, you know, still staying at home, who might not have a car, might not be in the best situation, you know, what advice would you have them to get out of that low place where they're stuck? They feel like they're stuck, they're depressed, you know, they're kind of brokenhearted in a way. What advice would you give to someone who is watching right now that is in that current state of mind?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy B-Dab, co-host of Self Revelations Podcast. I just wanted to let you guys know to connect with me on Connect. It's a new program that we're going to be partnering with. We're going to be providing mentorship, advice, FaceTime videos, text messages, basically connecting us with you guys, our community. So make your account and let's get connected. Link is in the bio.
Yeah. Get the book, The Four Agreements. We're not even sponsored, but I feel like you need to like start to look within yourself, like what's stopping you, and you need to realize like you have to like unchain yourself, like your beliefs, your ideas, your perspective. That shit is getting in the way. Like at the end of the day, it's always you versus you. Like even for me, right? All the shit that I was saying, like it's me versus me. There's no one stopping me. Like, you know what I'm saying? No one is stopping me from doing what I gotta do. It's me that's stopping me, you know, me allowing certain things. And so it's like for a person like that, it's like you have to realize it's you versus you. The moment that you realize it's you and not your auntie, not your fifth grade teacher, not anonymous 69 on Instagram, like all this other shit, like it's no one, or not your ex or not the person that you're with. It's you. Like you have to figure out and rewire your whole brain to then put you in the right state of mind to do what you got to do. And it's not going to happen in a day, but it's like little by little, the books you read or what you listen to, like you will start to develop like the skills or even the perspective ideas is going to like break those chains that's kind of holding you back, like your temptations, your urges, your habits and stuff like that. Like you have to create new habits. You have to create like a new reality, because it's like your perception is your reality. Like the way you look at life is the way you're living your life. So, and I think for me too, like I think to myself, like, man, like you have to, for me, like, you know, not everybody's religious or believes in God, but I feel like the moment you remember God, like you get closer within yourself too. Like I feel like the moment that you like when you don't remember God, you lose yourself. Like that's how I feel. Like the moment that when I was like praying and reading the Quran, like I was so in tune with myself and what I had to do, and maybe I got carried away in doing the things that I had to do, and I haven't been reading the Quran, or I haven't been praying as much as I probably should, and it's been losing sight of what I was doing this for too. So for me, it's like I gotta remember God, like keep God within my frame of mind and stuff like that, like, or else like you're gonna lose yourself, like you lose who you are and stuff like that in some sense. And like I don't know, I think really it's like the search for like, excuse me, the search for like personal freedom. Like you have to free yourself. It's you. It's your mind. It's the shit that you've gone through. It has to make sense. Like even with all the shit that I've gone through, I have an answer for everything. Is it the right or wrong answer? I think it's irrelevant. You just gotta have an answer. You gotta have some type of belief in like what happened to you made sense. Like even if it's the worst shit, you have to make sense of everything, you know. And I'm not saying that everything has to make sense, but you have to be able to understand like where you're at, what happened, and like not to be you might have been a victim of this, and you might have been a victim of whatever happened to you, but like you can't just default and point the finger, you know. You have to rely on your thumbs, and like that's you who made this shit happen. Like it's you who can make this shit happen. I mean, and like you have to give yourself power and not the power of like anything other than yourself, you know. If that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're going to be the answer for your problems.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta dig yourself out of it. And anybody that's gonna tell you otherwise, you know, it's highly unlikely that they're gonna be right.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not physically capable, say you're not physically where you want to be, it's up to you to get up and go to the gym. Financially, it's up to you to get up and go work. You know, spiritually, it's up to you to build a relationship with God. Your parents can't build a relationship for you. People can't force you to do things. You can force yourself to be in a certain mindset, or whatever vision you have for yourself, you can get there. It's just a matter of time, and are you willing to put your head down and grind? And if not, then you stop complaining and sit in whatever position you're in at that very moment.
Yeah, man. I think think we did our part with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, facts. You know,
Probably go live after too. I don't know if you want to go live or.
Yeah, we probably can.
I don't know. Do you have something to do? What time is it right now?
It's 8. But yeah, I think, yeah, it's very critical for someone to actually sit down and actually examine. You know, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Actually examine your situation as a whole. You know, to be critical with yourself, to maybe to beat yourself a little bit. Hey, I need to be better, X, Y, Z, because your gut is gonna tell you what you're supposed to be doing. You know, and you can get to wherever you want to be as long as you have a plan, have a goal, and you execute it on a daily basis. So, you know, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. You know, Wanaveli, I appreciate you for being open. And, you know, giving us a new insight of how we look at things and open up about things you've been going through, because it's not easy, most definitely. You know, that's something that I struggle with and wish that I could be more open with things as you are. We thank you guys for constantly being with us, constantly rocking with us, all the messages, all the likes, the comments, you know, the subscribers. We love and appreciate you guys, and we're going to be better for you guys in the near future. So we appreciate y'all, and we thank you for another episode of Self-Revelations.
Sheesh.
Hey, Liz, you cutting up.